Let's talk all the problems that we've been through. Let's talk how the money for the rent through. Let's talk about the problems that we had. Good with the bad, happy and sad. I'm just thankful I got some people that feel the way I do. And if you don't, here's what we can do. Let's talk. Let's talk. Let's talk.
Let's talk. It's your host, Dejor Brown, and I have with me today
Indigo Pascal.
Abdul Sek.
So if you're ready, let's hop right into it.
Okay.
Do you think that the educational system right now is doing justice by the youth? Start with you.
No. I say that because I feel like our youth, when we're given just assignments to do in class, we kind of do it. We obtain the information just to regurgitate it on paper, and then we forget about it. So I don't think it's doing anything.
I can personally agree with that. I know when I came back from summer break, I didn't remember a thing.
Exactly.
Until it was like, went over again the next year.
Exactly.
What do you think, Abdul?
Personally, I don't think that it's very beneficial because if you look at where our education system was and where it is now, it's like complete opposite. We were accelerating like a few decades ago, and now our school system, we're in like the 30s, 40s. It's just really bad. And people don't know why, but they keep taking money out of the education budget.
Right.
So
That is true. I hear that a lot.
they're set up to fail at
Right.
the end of the day.
Do you personally think that the subjects that are taught in school are what we need to succeed in life?
Absolutely not. I feel like I've been learning about like the triangular trade since like 6th grade, every year. And it's like, things like that, like, I think the only beneficial class I have is like financial literacy or sociology, talking about real world stuff, getting me ready, teaching me how to manage my money, teaching me how to balance it out, teaching me stuff that I'm gonna have to do as a young adult, and getting me really prepared for college. I think that grade school, K to 12, needs to do better with setting them up and putting them in programs or even having programs in school to prepare them for the future.
And Abdul?
I just think that like with the way things are going, it's just there's no focus on the kids.
The kids itself? It's just
Like, if I want someone to be successful, I want to make sure that they have all the tools necessary. And I feel like that's not being shown.
me personally, I always thought it was kind of fishy. Like they would really cram math down our minds. And when I was like in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, tell us, oh yeah, you need to know how to find the radical of a number, do this and that. And I always used to question, when am I ever going to use this?
Right.
Like, what if that's not my major in college that I want to pursue a career in? Like, I don't want to do math.
Right.
I personally hate math. I like English better, but even still, like, some of the things they force us to learn, I feel like it really has no beneficial value.
Right.
So besides like classroom etiquette and like
Yeah.
academics, there's no life application.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think anything I've used in the classroom it's been helping me in everything I'm trying to figure out now.
Yeah.
So, it just shows.
I agree.
Yeah, like for a math class specifically, instead of trying to teach me how to multiply all of these things that we don't need, like area of a triangle, I feel like they should have been trying to prepare us for the future in terms of how to do our taxes, how to put money in like the stock market. Like I remember having an economics class and we discussed how the whole thing worked, but they didn't tell us how to actually put it to use. And that was just one thing that confused me. Like, okay, I'm getting graded for this, I'm learning it, but am I ever going to apply it?
Right.
So the next topic is private school and public school. Is there a difference to either of you, and which one is better in your opinion?
It's a huge difference between the two. And I actually went from private school to public school, and I spent preschool to 5th grade in private school, and then my middle school and high school was in public. Better. Now, when you say better, you mean better educationally or better socially?
You can touch on all aspects.
Okay, so academically, private schools better. I mean, I think they are because the classrooms are smaller, so it gives you more hand,
What was the average size in your classroom?
like 12 to 15,
And in public school was?
20 to 25.
I hear that a lot.
Yeah, so when I was in private school, the classrooms were smaller, so it gave the teacher more time and to focus on each individual student. Like they knew which student, where they fell short at, you know what I mean? So that in public school, the teachers are more fast paced. Oh, I got 150 students to grade. I don't have time to just be talking about just you specifically. But when I'm at public school, it's just more, they have more patience with us. So I think that's one thing I miss about public school. However, socially and getting us ready for the real world, public school is because it was a culture shock going from private school to public school. Like kids are, they're different. And I remember being that little 6th grader wearing like a skirt to my public school the first day, and it was just like, I didn't fit in at all. But if I was just thrown, it felt like I was kind of thrown with the wolves, but if I was just thrown in at like a college level, it would have been worse. So socially getting you prepared for what's going on in the real world, I think public school's better.
Okay, and you?
Personally, I have only gone to public school my whole life. So that's all I know, all I'm used to. But I mean, I was able to be fine and get good grades. So like, I never, I know my cousins went to private school, and I see them lacking academically compared to what I was doing. So honestly, I think it's a case-by-case basis because there are some really good private schools and there's some really bad ones. So it just depends on where you're at the end of the day and how willing the child is to succeed.
Right.
I'm kind of the opposite from you. I only went to private school. And the reason why, because I asked my mother why, she basically said, the public schools in my neighborhood, I live in the Bronx, so she was basically like, I don't want you to die at school. Because there were always reports of fights and like shootings, not from the kids, because at this point when I asked her, I was in like 6th grade. But she just said it was dangerous. So after school every day, I went to this after school program, and it had kids from private school and public school. So we would literally talk all the time. How is it at your school? And we would like exchange homework to see what we were all on. I did realize that me being in private school, some of the lessons that they were taught, we got to like maybe a month or two earlier. But the experience they told me they had in public school was more fun.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't as many rules, but it was still a controlled environment where everyone could learn, and it was much more kids.
Yeah.
And it's just generally a fun time.
Do you wish you? Never mind. I'm not interviewing you.
I mean.
Do you wish you could have went to public school?
I ponder on that. I mean, it was. I know personally, just talking to them, it was fun.
Yeah.
But my mom was not lying to me. It was also pretty dangerous
So
at public
violent.
school. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess the next question would be, where do you think that the education you receive has you now? Like, how do you feel that it has impacted you to this point today?
Well, in my public school, in my high school, like you said, like I can attest to what you said. Like I went to school where fights were literally norm. It was the norm. It was every day. People getting locked up in school. People getting the canines to their the dogs sniffing out their lockers, like stuff like that. It's mad distracting. However, like when I was in high school, I knew like, all right, I want to go to college after this. So, kind of taking myself and knowing what path I wanted to go down, my experience was good because I had over a 3.0 GPA in high school, and I was an athlete. So you just got to choose what kind of circle you want to be in. Once you choose your circle, and the education I had in high school was easy, but I was still focused. It has me at a balanced level today.
So you put the person you are today, you would say your education has something to do with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
And you?
I would say personally, like, I don't regret my experience, but I do see the flaws in it and where I was neglected, I guess you could say, where in certain areas that were lacking, that now I have to learn and figure things out on my own, which is not a problem, but I feel as though, some guidance could have been assisted.
Definitely.
But also, I feel like it's just up to you to make the most out of your circumstance, make the best experience you can, and I feel like I did that, but there's still so much more to learn, so much more to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the only way I can say my education had an impact on me to this point was just the people I met and the environment I was put in. Like I kind of know how a school is supposed to be run, even though I know there was a lot of shady things happening behind closed doors, like funding issues and what teachers get moved around for particular kids and what kids get put in. But I'd say out of the person I am today, the education I received, the actual education probably only accounted for 15%. And just the whole experience probably much more than that.
K through 12, I don't think it's necessarily designed for us to succeed at a high level. And the reason why is because, first of all, preparation. We're not as well prepared going into high school. And you know, some of that has to do with administrative issues, such as the perpetual testing and the teaching to test. Teaching toward testing as opposed to teaching toward competency, toward academic rigor, toward critical thinking. So we have the ability to do those things. However, I think that because some of the classrooms in some of the most challenged school areas are I think teachers in many cases are overworked, too many students in a class. Students go home and don't have the resources to be prepared for class the next day. I think there are a lot of factors involved. But I think for those who are willing, those who push a little bit harder, those who are willing to work a little bit harder, I think the system, I think that we can navigate the system, and our being here, your being here, is evidence of that.
I feel like it's everyone's choice. Like, you don't have to go to a HBCU, you don't have to go, you know, to a PWI. It's to each his own, but it's bad when like they down credit us that do go to HBCUs. Or that makes sense. Yeah, like I feel like we shouldn't be, oh, this one's higher, this one's higher. I feel like we should all work together and, you know, share knowledge between each other as opposed to arguing and who's better or who's getting more education. It's pointless.
I definitely think the value has diminished. I don't think people value the importance of an education. I think we've diminished how important it is to have the degree and how hard it is to actually get the degree. It's easy to start, but it's difficult to finish a lot of it.
Well, my mom was a school teacher, so everything that I learned in school, it was reinforced at home. So
I think that social class can be a limiting factor, particularly in terms of academic resources. However, history has taught us that there are a significant number of individuals who come from what we would consider very impoverished environments and have succeeded tremendously. And I think that for maybe more your generation than mine, that becomes an easy crutch. But we have to understand that right after our period of enslavement and even into the Reconstruction period and even later, there were walls against people achieving success. Yet people still did. Black people still accomplished getting an education. We were graduating black teachers, black doctors, black attorneys at a time when we weren't even considered equal in the American, in the judicial systems and the political framework of this country. We were still achieving at a high level. I think that there was a mindset that existed at that time that does not exist any longer, and that mindset was that failure is not an option. I believe that the mindset now has become, you owe this to me, or you owe me something. And when you sit back and wait for somebody that owes you something, you'll be waiting forever. If you choose to have that failure is not an option mentality, you're going to go out and get what you feel is owed to you. we're not placing blame on anybody at this point in our lives and our careers on any missteps that have been made or any failures that might have occurred. I think it's more important that we understand that it is our responsibility to take care of ourselves, to take care of our own. My reason for coming back to Norfolk State was because you guys are the students that I want to be teaching. I probably could be somewhere else. I chose to be here.
I don't think we prepare you guys enough for what college life is actually going to be.
Right.
I think you come here with a false sense of security. I think that you think that everything is going to also be like high school when you get here.
Kids are getting lazier every day, so it's like now we have to not adapt, like they just don't work as hard.
But I feel like just to add on to that, just sometimes like for work now, it's probably like harder because I remember my mom used to help me try and do my homework. She was just like, this is hard, it's impossible. So I feel like, no, it's people that's lazy, but at the same time, it's probably challenging for them and they don't know how to like reach out and get help, or they don't have the resources to get help. So I feel like they value their education. It's just a matter of fact, it's like, what do I do about it if I'm struggling?
It's a lot of money put into it just to get your education. Most people don't even try to get their education, and they do have like successful jobs, and they don't even go to school. And then like with my mom, she just graduated here, and she can't even find a job for her major.
So a controversial topic that I see on Twitter and Instagram all the time is HBCUs versus PWIs, and why HBCUs seem to be a waste of time. What's your take on it?
Okay, I don't want to be stepping on anybody's shoes since I am at HBCU, but I came from a PWI, and I'm going to be 100% honest when I say this. I was more challenged at my PWI. I was in the classroom. It was harder, and here I get a lot of freeway. I get a lot of like, oh, tests will be like 10 questions. The papers will be like 2 pages. At my old school, it was none of that. Like, it was either 5 pages or more. It was kind of, you didn't get extensions for tests. If you missed something, the professor didn't open it back up for you. It was just like, no, it was college for real. Like college, how we used to see it on TV when we were younger. So when I came to HBCU, I'm more relaxed here. I get the same. I got better grades there than I do here because here I'm more involved socially. I'm in more clubs, but at my old school I was literally strictly just school because I wanted to compete with everybody else who was there, though the white kids, the Indian kids, all that. My PWI experience was like, it was fun. It was fun, but like my freshman year, Donald Trump got elected. So my history class only had maybe 3 to 4 minorities in there, maybe 3 black kids, including myself, and like 1 Spanish kid. The rest of the class was white. So, but the professor was black. So like we were outnumbered at that time, and like they already expect us to not know what's going on in the world. They expect us to just go along with what they're saying. So it's kind of like it teaches them, it shows at a PWI when the black kids can speak up and know what they're talking about, and we can get higher like test grades and quiz grades. It feels great. Like it's just like, yeah, because that's the real world. When we get our diploma from, whether it be here or another institution, we're stepping into a white world, as sad as it sounds.
Pretty sure, yeah.
So I love my HBCU experience though, because with my major, especially mass communications, I need to be networking and meeting new people and getting into stuff like this. So PWIs are harder in the classroom, but HBCUs are better socially.
Okay, so I have some follow-up questions.
Yes.
One, what PWI did you go to?
I attended Keene University in New Jersey.
Okay, and also, another question I have was, did you feel out of place when you were there?
No.
And
a lot of people think that just because it's a predominantly white institute that the black community is very small. The black community was huge. Like, it was, all the black kids stick together. So
Pretty
it's
much.
like, it's not an HBCU, but it's like, we didn't have things like activity hour, but we partied together. We studied together, we partied together. I didn't feel out of place. I felt like the competition was higher and I need to learn my place and I feel like they were already expecting me to fail.
yeah, so you felt like you had to work harder in order to keep up.
Yes, and
Okay.
here I just gotta be, because a 3.0 here is like, but a 3.0 at Keene is like, oh, that's all you got. It's kind of like to get in organizations here, you need like a 3.0 or a 2.5 or 2.0, but there is a totally different story.
Do you feel more nurtured here than you were there?
Yes, 100%.
You said it really fast.
Yeah, like, because I was lacking that. That's exactly what I was lacking. That's why I left. I just was working and I was trying to be the best student, but college is all about growing into the best person. So I wasn't growing into indigo, I was just growing into a better student. It just wasn't really, I was 17 to 19 and still just doing work.
Okay, time to let Abdul have his take
I'm
on
sorry.
it.
Jeez. Well, like I said, I think it's just like depends on the person and how much you want to take from your experience. Personally, like I don't really pay attention to the whole debate PWI, HBCU. You're gonna get your education where you get it, and how much of a value you hold in it, you're gonna make, what you need to happen. So, like whether you go to ODU or whether you go here, as long as you're working, it doesn't matter where you go. Everybody's working for the same thing.
That's true.
So, yeah.
A lot of people say that when you go to a HBCU, the workload is way easier, so it lessens the degree. Do you believe that?
I agree that the workload is way lighter, yes.
But not that it lessens your degree?
No.
Because you still worked for your 4 years?
Yes. At my old school, I was just staying up till 5 in the morning doing 16-page papers, and here I'll stay up doing two pages and I'll be chilling. But I still work for it, right?
Yes, you are.
A 16-page paper hurt me.
I can tell you that I have 2 degrees from Norfolk State University. I have a PhD from Howard University. And I can also tell you that there are individuals who entered my cohort with me at Howard University from schools such as University of Texas, University of Tennessee, Syracuse University, University of Southern California, which are not HBCUs, but they didn't graduate. So you tell me, do HBCUs fail us? Are we taking the easy way out? I believe that professors at HBCUs can be just as challenging. We know, in my case, I don't think there is a professor in any academic setting that is as qualified to be. And I might be saying that, I'm saying that from a personal perspective, but I have academic credentials, but I'm also professional at what I do. I'm a practitioner and have been so for over 20 years. It's one thing to leave. It's one thing to leave a academic institution with academic credentials, but it's another to leave having those credentials and having a work ethic and the ability to create, to guide students in the direction of job attainment, of higher education if they choose to go higher than a bachelor's degree. And I think that we at the HBCUs are probably better equipped in dealing with African American students and guiding them toward those achievements.
I ain't been to no PWI.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I'm an English major, so I got to write papers regardless. But it's nothing that I didn't sign up for.
Right.
So I feel like you do the work. This is why we're here.
I don't know which one is better because, like me and Abdul, we haven't went to a PWI, but I do know that being at an HBCU is an experience. Like, when I stepped on campus, it just felt like I was comfortable. It was home. And the one thing I can commend HBCUs, well, specifically Norfolk State University, because I don't know what other HBCUs are doing. They're trying to prepare me for a world where we are the minority. They said that since day one. So, I just like it here. The atmosphere is great.
Yeah.
I fit right in. And, you said 2-page papers. I know for my English class, I had to do 15 here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I can attest to the workload here. It might be lighter than my friends that go to other schools, but I'm still doing massive amounts of work.
Exactly.
Same. I can only speak on my experience at the end of the day anyways.
Right.
So,
Okay, so another question. Why did you specifically come to Norfolk State University? We can start with Abdul.
all right. Well, when I came here, I had went to a college fair by my home, and we was going around seeing schools, and like I was just like they was really the people were really cool. Like they seemed like they cared about what I was trying to do.
People from here?
Yeah, like
Okay.
recruitment type people.
You mean the table? Like, okay, so
I don't know the names.
you went to a table and it was Norfolk State, and they seemed cool.
No, like I went. You go to like a table and then you wait in line and then you actually go sit and it's like
Okay.
like an interview type deal. And it was just I felt really comfortable with what they were saying. And then I got here and it basically confirmed everything. Like I can't say that I've had a bad experience at all. I've definitely enjoyed my time here.
Did you visit here before you came?
I did.
Okay. And you?
Question again?
Why did you choose Norfolk State University?
I want to go to HBCU from the jump, but there's no HBCUs in New Jersey, so the closest HBCU to me will be Lincoln, and I didn't want to go there. So I just settled, honestly. I settled, and I just went to a school in New Jersey, and I chose to come here because I knew that I wanted to be, like you said, nurtured. And I've never visited the school. I didn't know anybody when I got here. I didn't know anybody prior to coming here. I came to Beach Week my freshman year.
On College Beach Weekend?
I came to College Beach Weekend with my friends, and I just was meeting people from down here, like on the strip. People were like, oh, I go to Norfolk State, I go to VSU, and I'm just like, Virginia they gotta be like these nice people, because New Jersey people don't just come up and see you and talk to you, and it's not like that. So I had a thing for Virginia.
Yeah.
So I literally was just like, Hampton, NSU, and I just went on YouTube and I just started Googling like homecoming, pep rallies, like doing stuff like that. And then Norfolk State just stood out to me. I'm like, yeah. And then I talked on the phone with a couple people, and they really gave me the comfort and feeling like, we got you. And as soon as you go on Norfolk State, it says we see the future in you, and I'm just like, oh, all right, well, let's see what's up. So I took a leap in faith, and I just drove down here and moved in.
Okay. I mean, I can attest to the whole, they see you, they say, hello, how you doing? Because from the north,
Yeah, it's not like that.
People do
don't
not.
do that.
Yeah, they just keep their heads down and mind their business.
Exactly.
But I think the reason I came is because, like I said, I came on the campus. I did 3 trips to Norfolk State University. I was on college tours since I was a sophomore in high school with Omega Psi Phi, Black Fraternity Incorporated. They just basically took us to see HBCUs. It was an HBCU tour. So we went from New York, we actually went down and up. So we went to the Carolinas and we made our way up. And when I saw Norfolk State the first year, I was like, this is a party school. Because of course our tour was during activity hour. I was like, yeah, this is a party school. And at that point in my life, I was like, I don't think I want to party in college. I just want to, be really serious. So it wasn't on my list. Second year, we came back, and it was just like, wow, this looks like it could be home. And then the last year I came to Norfolk State, the campus was being redone. I saw them adding buildings everywhere. They had new programs. They had about 16 new programs. I saw the mass comm department. I was like, yeah, this might be home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, last question. When you were applying to Norfolk State, were there any outside voices telling you, don't do that, as an HBCU, you're not going to learn anything there, you're not going to become anybody when you graduate?
Yes.
Really?
I heard, why would you go from a PWI to an HBCU? When you graduate and your resume says you're getting your degree from a PWI versus you're getting a degree from an HBCU, they're not going to look at it like as good. Like I had a 3.9 at my PWI.
Go ahead.
And I have a 3.6 here. So they're like, you're getting your GPAs are still high, but it has a whole different meaning since it's come from HBCU. But I blocked it out. I just was like, I want to do what's best for me. At the end of the day, when you sit across from your future boss, they're going to see who you are and what that institution put into you, and how that they're going to see where you come from, but they're going to be interviewing the person I am. And I knew Norfolk State would build the person I need to be in a couple of years. So yeah.
One thing that I hear all the time is that a person that graduates with a 2.7 and someone who graduates with a 4.0 are still graduating with the same degree, so it doesn't really matter. And your take on it, Abdul?
Personally, I didn't experience any negative feedback to my decision. But also, I feel like there's a reason why we're all here. Like, there's a reason why I'm here.
Facts.
And everybody was super supportive around my family. Nobody really questioned my decision, at least that I know of. But at the end of the day, like regardless of where I go, I'm here to work.
Right.
That's true. That's a nice mindset to have too. I think it's the same. My mom was supportive. My grandparents were supportive. I had in my mind that I was going to an HBCU since I was 12. Like just learning about our past, our ancestry, and that these schools were made for us to get an education when we couldn't get an education back then. It was just beautiful to me, yeah. And I knew I was going to come to an HBCU, whether it be Norfolk State or any other school.
Right.
And the experience has been amazing for me. So, okay, this has been a great discussion.
Yeah.
You two were great. And that has been another episode of Let's Talk, discussing education. I'm your host, DeJour Brown, and we will see you next time.
Let's talk all the problems that we've been through. Let's talk how the money for the rent through. Let's talk about the problems that we had, good with the bad, happy and sad. I'm just thankful I got some people that feel the way I do.